You're a 168 fighter, and I know it sounds crazy, but if he were to like turn around and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'll fight David,"
yeah, I'll be dope. I have a lot of respect for Terence Crawford, and just because I want to fight, if we would fight, doesn't mean we have hard feelings for each other. He's definitely a great fighter. I'd love to fight him.
I need to get. I would love to get it. I just don't think he'll come up. Well, I mean, I'm not even at 168 no more.
Right.
But I mean, I would love to fight Crawford, or even spar. I would love to spar Crawford.
When you see a tweet that says, "Hey, can you make 168, David from Turkey?" Can he still make 168? You seeing him now training at second fight at 175?
Yeah, I think he's super young still. I think definitely, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunity.
Terence Crawford is set to face David Benavidez, a matchup fans have been eagerly anticipating. In a recent update, Jose Benavidez Sr. confirmed that David is able to drop back down to 168 pounds for a potential clash with Crawford.
He was, I think, referring to maybe if David could go and fight Crawford. Like, that's crazy.
To be honest, that would be even an embarrassment to me to say, David's too big for Crawford. Now we said that, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunity.
It won't be easy for David, but dropping back down is doable. His move up to 175 pounds wasn't really about the weight itself. It was more about chasing bigger opportunities. But you know how boxing goes. Once someone like Turki Alshik brings in that massive Saudi backing, suddenly every fighter figures out a way to make the numbers work.
Can you still make 168?
To be honest with you, man, let Terence Crawford live. That's his weight class.
Okay.
I lost interest in 168 a long time ago. I know that we could get offered a lot of money to go down to 168, but I'm more comfortable at 175.
In fact, Turki even tweeted that David is capable of making 168 pounds. So don't be shocked if a Crawford versus Benavidez showdown is on the horizon next year. When Turki's involved, anything can happen. Add in the styles. Crawford's sharp ring IQ and slick movement against Benavidez's raw, explosive power. And you got a matchup that's part chess, part pure fireworks.
We were at 168. When we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. When you look
right not now, it's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no.
The stakes couldn't be higher. On one side, there's legacy. On the other, a chance to prove yourself. Not to mention massive attention and pay-per-view numbers. If the promoters make it official, expect an intense training camp, careful weight strategy, and a fight night that every boxing fan will be talking about. Stay tuned. This matchup could go from rumor to reality quicker than anyone expects.
Alshik posted on social media asking if David Benavidez is still capable of making it down to 168. Now, we're not sure if this little tease that Turki made was targeted as a hint for a future fight between Crawford and Benavidez, or Canelo versus Benavidez.
Just when the hype for Crawford versus Benavidez was heating up, Blue Blood Sports TV stepped in with a reality check on David Benavidez. And they didn't hold back. The message was clear. Don't call Crawford an opportunist when you were chasing that same Canelo fight. And they've got a point. You can't rewrite history just because the spotlight didn't shine on you at the right moment.
So what Terence Crawford achieved is massive compared to yourself that people say technically should have been at 175. So you cannot discredit Terence Crawford and say he's an opportunist, because this is the same version of Canelo Alvarez that you wanted to fight. And you would have wanted to get all the credit in the world for beating this Canelo, and you wouldn't have wanted to hear people talk about you as an opportunist and you fought a version of Canelo Alvarez that was washed up.
Benavidez spent years chasing Canelo, moving through divisions like a determined hunter. And now that Crawford finally landed the fight, suddenly it's, oh, that Canelo was too old. Come on, that's like saying you didn't want the cake after someone else ate it. Sure, Benavidez deserved that shot years ago. WBC politics definitely played him unfairly. But try and discredit Crawford now? That's just emotional exercise.
Don't discredit Terence Crawford's victory. That's nasty work, bro. And you one of my guys, you know that. And shout out to your father and your brother. Don't let these people put batteries in your back for you to discredit Terence Crawford victory. Don't let it happen, bro. We know a disservice was done to you. We know you should have been got the Canelo Alvarez fight. We already know that. But don't say this was a washed up version of Canelo Alvarez, because you would have accepted this same fight and wanted all the credit.
The fact is, Bud stepped up where no one else dared, moving up 21 pounds to face a fighter that intimidated nearly everyone. And if David really drops back down to 168 to meet Crawford, respect, that's bold. But until the bell rings, let's not forget, Crawford just redefined what's possible in boxing. Love him or hate him, Bud made history. The only opportunistic part is timing, which made everyone else look small in comparison.
So you would have fought the same version of Canelo Alvarez and expected all the credit in the world. So you can't discredit Terence Crawford and say his fight and beating him was opportunist.
Just when the Bud versus Benavidez story seemed to be heating up, a new twist hits. Team Crawford is reportedly saying Bud wants $100 million for his next fight. Yes, $100 million. That's not a purse, that's a lottery jackpot. We all respect Bud, but at that price, he might have to fight Thanos to make it work. Because unless Turkey Alshik is literally printing money in Riyadh, who's signing that check?
I'm going to start off with what Bernie of Team Crawford said, right? He says, quote, "I think Terence Crawford is done. If it ain't $100 million to go down and fight those guys like Janabek, Edislandi Lara, and Carlos Adames, let them guys do all the hard work." $100 million? What you think you got? Kelsey Grammer? Chelsea Clinton?
Let's be honest, this move screams, I've conquered boxing, now pay me like a legend. And honestly, I get it. Crawford just dismantled Canelo, made him look like he was buffering in 4K. So of course he feels untouchable. But when you start throwing around names like Janbek and Carlos Adams for $100 million, that's no longer boxing. That's premium fantasy mode. Still, you have to respect the confidence. Bud's basically saying, if I step in the ring again, it's either generational money or I'm enjoying generational wealth. And honestly, you can't blame him. He's earned it. Now it's up to the boxing world to see if anyone can match the price.
So now, I'm not mad at it. Crawford's team, they want $100 million. Crawford needs $100 million to perform or to get back in the ring, or he might retire. Then, in my opinion, if that is your real asking price, you might have to retire, because no one needs to see a Canelo rematch. And fights like Lara, Janabek, and Adames.
Right after dropping the $100 million bomb, Crawford went into full story mode about how the whole Canelo idea even came about. And this part is wild. It wasn't just some random money chase. It was Bill Haney, yes, Devin's dad, who planted the Canelo seed before Crawford even faced Spence. Imagine being in the gym and Bill just walks up like, "Forget Spence, Bud. Go after Canelo." And Bud's thinking, whoa, that guy's huge. Then he takes a second look and realizes, wait a minute, we're the same height. That's when the light bulb went off.
Hold on, bro, for real? I thought this was after.
No, this is before.
Crawford Spence won.
He said, man, don't even chase, stop chasing Errol Spence. He was like, man, the guy to focus on chase is Canelo.
Really?
He was like, man, you can beat him. He was like, man, Spence, Canelo. And like every time I see him, he'd be like, Canelo.
And that's the beauty of Bud. He doesn't act out of ego. He acts out of belief. The guy actually studied Canelo's game like he was writing a thesis on championship boxing. You can see how that Bill Haney conversation stuck with him in a positive way. And when Canelo's camp started claiming Crawford doesn't sell, Bud basically shrugged and said, fine, don't mention my name. I'm the draw now. That's classic Bud. Calm on the surface. But you know someone's about to get dominated once the bell rings.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, we the same height, around the same size. Like, he a little thicker, okay. I'm starting to look into it now because he already planted the seed, but now I'm like looking into it. Like, let me see what Bill
talking about.
Bill look
See
at now, what he see. So I'm, oh, okay. This is what he talking about. Cause he like, man, he's not a big dude. And he just kept saying he's not a big dude and you can beat him. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, damn, Bill right. You know what I mean?
Just when you thought the Canelo story couldn't get any wilder, the behind-the-scenes drama takes it to another level. Bud spent 9 hours negotiating in Saudi Arabia, sitting in a back room like he was trying to unlock a secret boss level in a video game. He was by himself, surrounded by people speaking in another language, texting, calling, whispering. And he's just sitting there thinking, I just want to talk to Turkey. But nope, they said he couldn't, because apparently Turkey is his friend and might go easy on him. Imagine being too likable to negotiate your own deal. That's when it hits you. This isn't your average fighter. This is a man running his business like he's the CEO of Team Crawford Enterprises. No lawyers, no middlemen, just Bud holding his ground for 9 hours until both sides leave half satisfied, half broken.
They brought me in there, then we went to the little back room, and we was there for like 9 hours.
Dang.
Going back and forth.
Dang.
You know, they not budging, I'm not budging. I'm in that mug like this. I'm like,
By yourself.
by myself. And they like, they calling Turkey. He's not. they talking in their language and texting, and we going back and forth.
And that's when you know it's serious. When he said, it's not the deal they wanted or the deal I wanted, but it's done. You could feel the chess move land. This wasn't just about securing a fight. It was about locking in a legacy clause. And let's be real. When people say Crawford is just in it for the money, stop. Bud himself said he was fighting for free. And he's right. None of us would work for exposure. So why should he? He's been underestimated, blackballed, told he doesn't sell. And yet here he is, negotiating on a different continent, chasing greatness like it owes him rent. You've got to respect that. But isn't just fighting opponents anymore. He's battling systems, narratives, and even time itself. And so far, he's winning every round.
You gotta get the deal done. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you can see Turkey when you get the deal done. And I'm like, oh man, listen. Y'all talking about ain't making sense. Yeah. You know
Did you have a number though?
Yeah.
Or you kind of had a number like, I want to be in this range,
yeah,
right?
I had a number and it was just like, they like, man, listen. We gonna have to talk. so we all in that motherfucker for like, you know what I mean? 9 hours, dog.
9 hours, bro.
I'm telling you. I'm Straight.
And here's the wild part. Crawford versus Benavidez isn't just another fight. It's a full-blown power play in boxing's new era. Legacy versus youth, brains versus brawn, and pride on the line. Whether it happens at 168 or 175, both fighters are chasing their next peak. But here's the real question. Who wants it more? Is Bud still hungry after conquering Canelo? Or is Benavidez ready to prove he's more than the guy who got passed over? Either way, the world is watching. And if Turkey Alshik drops that royal check, it's game on. So I'll ask you, who takes it? The master technician or the powerhouse? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this debate going. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More fire is coming your way soon. See you in the next one.